Welcome to the vlog, guys. What's going on, guys? So today we're doing something a little bit different. We're here with Drift Team Nerd, and what I wanted to do was do somewhat of like a driver profile, I guess you could say, breaking down. We're gonna go be visiting different people, like different teams, if you guys are around New England, and just pretty much interviewing on different styles that they had, different tips, what got them into drifting, what mods, stuff like that. So it is beautiful out. So we got Angel, Dan, and we got Paul inside. Like I said, they're from Drift Team Nerd, and we're gonna be asking them a couple questions. Hopefully you guys can relate to their builds, to their experiences. So we'll get started on that.
What's going on, guys? My name is Angel.
Dan.
And I'm Paul. And we're Drift Team Nerd.
Yeah, we're
Drift Team Nerd. Nerd?
What does it stand for?
New England Rowdy Drifters. Nerd has nothing to do that we're smart. No, we're just
actually we're the opposite of smart.
Yeah.
But no, when you think about it though, like we are car nerds.
Yeah. Ask us anything about cars, we'll answer your question. Anything from old school Japanese cars to newer cars like the 350 or the Genesis.
I have a 2010 Hyundai Genesis Coupe, right there.
I drive a 2003 350Z.
I also drive a 2003 350Z base model.
And what are the major like modifications you guys did to it to get it, I guess you could say, track ready, rather than doing like aesthetics, like body stuff, like main stuff that you would do to get it drift ready, pretty much?
First things first, we all chose to weld our diffs. That's the first thing you got to do, just to get the car sideways. That's the best thing you could do, best bang for the buck. And then next thing I did to my car was angle mods. All I did was add rack spacers to my steering rack, and it works wonders. And obviously suspension, lower it, and that's it. Just drive. More time driving, less time working on my car, and progressing.
I have pretty much the same thing. I got welded diff, BC coilovers, and I got the PBM angle kit. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is like stock.
Yeah, me too. I have pretty much no engine modifications. Just coilovers and welded diff. And
Keep it basic.
What got me into drifting? Well, I used to be a stance scene kid. I kind of got bored of that. Go to car shows and just sit around, not do much with the cars. And then I found out about drifting about YouTube, watching people drift, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna give it a try, you know. So I tried it out. It sucked. Tried it again. I kept sucking at it, and then I progressed over the years, and I put more money into my car, and it just clicked. I finally got good at it, and I've been doing it for a couple years now. Been everywhere in the Northeast, even in Japan with these guys drifting. So that's why.
Whenever I think of like when I first started, it was showing up to Lime Rock Park. That was like, I remember showing up for the first time and seeing the cars drifting. Immediately, I was like, I need to do this. And at the time, I already had the 350Z. I had just bought it, and I was like, I don't care, like if I beat on it or whatever. Like I need to do this. And like I want to say, a couple months later, I showed up in my car, bone stock, cheap used tires. I did awful, but it was the best thing ever, and
got hooked.
yeah, it was the worst drug I ever took.
I would say video games, especially Need for Speed Underground 2. They had that little drift mode. I think that's what got me into drifting first. And then I started hanging out with Angel. We went to Lime Rock Park and we saw all these drift events. I partied with them. And that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we definitely partied a lot there.
I chose the 350Z first. First off, I want to say I used to own 240s, but I was always scared to drift them because I had no idea what I was doing. And then I realized the 240 was underpowered stock. So, I wanted the next best thing, a 350. Back when I started drifting my 350, not many people were doing it. It was such an expensive car, it was still new. And then I said, fuck yeah, I'm just gonna do it. So I bought the 350, lowered it, put some suspension mods on there, welded the diff, and from that point on, I've been practicing in that car, and then that car actually made me excel into drifting better and better each time I went to the track. That's why I chose the car. I just sit in it and go. No time wasting modifying it, and it's reliable. I drive my car to every track possible, and it never let me stranded. Maybe I got towed home once, but that's my mistake. I hit a wall. You know, every real drifter hits a wall once at least. So.
Well, you can't say that. I don't think that makes you a real drifter. I just think like if you push the limits a lot.
Yeah.
You push yourself. You push the limits. And
Edit
like,
that out, by the way. Don't put that on there. Yeah, he's right.
You push your your comfort zone basically.
Yeah.
Like if you feel comfortable entering at this speed, you go a little bit faster. You leave your comfort zone, and then like you enter, you know, places where you don't know what's gonna happen, how the car's gonna react, and stuff like that. I don't think I didn't choose the 350Z as a drift car for any reason in particular. I just had the car, and I wanted to drift, and I knew it was rear-wheel drive. It had a LSD in it, so I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna use this. So, but it turned out being a really good drift car, because I mean, I had a lot of problems with the car, but that's because
You're low. Because you're so low.
yeah, basically because my car is so low, it doesn't function properly, which I'm working on fixing. But it's basically because of me. If you have a bone stock height like 350Z, it's gonna run all day long, no problems. So don't lower it too much. Actually, you lower it too much. Who gives a shit?
So I have the Genesis Coupe. I didn't really choose it. I bought it to commute to school and back, and then I chose a 240 to drift, and I didn't like it that much. And then I welded the diff on that car, and I liked it a lot more. It's longer wheelbase. It felt more predictable.
Hold on, let's talk about that real quick. You had the Genesis as a car to commute to school.
Yep.
That was your daily. Then you bought a drift car.
Yep.
We went drifting in it like what, 3 times?
Yeah.
We went
I would
to,
say
we
that.
went to the track like 3 times. Then his drift car turned into his daily, and his daily turned into his drift car. And I was like, Paul, what are you doing, man? Just fucking sell that thing.
No, I didn't want to. But I sold it eventually and bought a truck.
Have you guys ever crashed by yourselves and with each other?
Alright.
My list is too long. Start with him.
I haven't really crashed into these guys. The only time I crashed was with Angel. I backed up into him. Because of him?
Yeah. No, that wasn't because of me.
It was your
That
fault.
was your
That
fault.
was
He
even
snuck up
drifting.
behind. He
That
snuck
was
up
even
behind me.
drifting.
Okay, we were parking at work.
Alright, story
That's just a
time.
boy.
No, story time. They don't have time for this. They don't care.
Story time.
He snuck up behind me and hit, and I was
I didn't
reversing.
sneak behind you. We were pulling into a parking lot. He didn't look back.
I was
I
looking back.
pulled behind him. He reversed into me. That was the whole story.
That's the only time we crashed. I haven't crashed with Dan yet, and I haven't had any major crashes. So I only had a tire wall or 2. So nothing crazy.
I crashed 2 times. Both with Dan.
Why? Because
Why?
we're rowdy.
Yeah. I think like the first time was I was following you too high on the inside, and then when we went to transition, we kind of collided on the transition. No, yeah, that was like
The wheel to wheel.
yeah, that was
Crash.
wheel to wheel crash. My front wheel against his rear wheel. No major damage. We had a big crash like at the end of at the beginning. It was at the beginning of last season. So we were drifting at Thompson, and I was following him again. So there's a trend here. Don't follow this guy. I was following him really close, and I was just kind of like paying attention to his door. I'm like, all right, I just gotta stay glued to him, this and that. And then he goes off course like completely, all 4 tires. And then I just like followed him because I was so close to him, and I smashed into his door, his front fender. I broke a couple suspension parts, dented the shit out of my rear quarter panel. But shout out to Dan for popping it back out.
I had to get a new door because of that day. I had to get a new alignment because of that day. I drove home, all my wheels facing the wrong direction, so I was swaying home, but I got home. It's all worth it though. At the end of the day, we have stories to tell, and
No. When else did you crash besides that? 'Cause
well, no, I'm
we
just talking about the.
Did you just fart?
No. Sure.
Don't lie.
All right.
Good smell.
So, wait, what
So
was the
we
question?
know-
How many times do you crash? Or
No, just if you ever crash.
yeah, I crashed multiple times.
Alright, so 2 times at Thompson.
Yeah, I crashed
with me.
into my teammate over here, tandeming, which is gonna happen. I'm not surprised.
You
I'm not
also
pissed
crashed
about
into
that.
Felix.
Yeah,
2
Felix
times.
hit me, which is
I don't know, that's
car right
debatable.
there.
That's debatable.
What else?
How many times did you crash into Felix?
Nah, never.
Yes, you
Nah,
did.
nah.
Okay. How many times did you guys crash?
Once.
You had a crash
What?
in the B-suit.
Who, me?
Yeah, remember you? Well, of course.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, we
You
got
had
stuck.
the guy in S15 told you out.
I didn't crash.
That's not crash, I guess.
I did
Off
crash in
track.
Japan though. I totaled a car in Japan. I hit a wall. Going on top of third gear at North Course. Not really proud of that moment, but I'm sure Tony can pull up the pictures and show you what I did to the car. They do say cars go to Ibiza to die, and I pretty much killed the car up there.
Premature.
Yeah.
We still had the rest of the week.
So yeah, I crashed at Lebanon Valley.
How many
infamous-
times?
Once.
Didn't you hit that wall 2 times?
No, you weren't even there.
I know, but
No, I hit that wall once.
okay, so
Nah.
2 times at Thompson, 1 time at Lebanon,
Mm-hmm.
and 1 time at Ebisu. So 4 times total.
And-
Didn't you also crash on the res?
Oh yeah, I got stuck in a ditch in the New Britain Reservoir. Tony also could pull up that picture. I have that. I'm stuck in the bushes. I tried to do some toge by myself, and I ended up in the fucking woods.
That was in Mexico.
Didn't you crack a
Mexico,
wheel?
yeah.
That was in Mexico.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Mexico.
Yeah, I cracked the wheel and I drove home like that also.
On a
So,
cracked wheel?
Yeah.
Was like the tire debeated? Or
No, I held there. Real wheels, they work wonders. You wouldn't know. Anyways, so yeah, 5 crashes maybe, and
Still
it's
rolling.
gonna be a lot more.
All right, quick tips on what would you suggest for people that want to get into drifting?
Alright, well, just choose a reliable car and seat time. That's the only thing. And then slowly start modifying it. Don't do too much at once. So first thing you'll do is coilovers and diff, and just go and drift it. And then eventually you get like seats and steering wheel or whatever. So keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Alright. I'm gonna try to do let's try to do different tips than what he said. Not like the same
Okay.
tips.
Okay.
So what are tips to get into drifting, you said?
Yeah.
Tips to get into drifting. I'm gonna go tire related. Obviously tire is the biggest budget in drifting. I would say if you can't afford new tires, just buy cheap tires.
Used,
And-
meaning used. I buy
Yeah.
used tires, and
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
I spend maybe $40 for a pair.
Yo,
So
this is my part.
you're not getting to the point. You're just babbling. So I'm trying to make.
I'm
this-
hungover. Relax. Alright,
sorry,
so
back to him.
buy used tires if you can't afford new. That's how I started also. But the thing is, used tires are inconsistent and they end really quick.
They may fall off too.
Yeah, they fall off. He's got a picture of that. Actually, it's
Pull
not
it
on
up.
that poster. So what I do is I buy cheap brand new tires and just do a little bit of research. You can find cheap tires that are really good. They last a long time and they have pretty good grip and stuff. And just stick to one tire. Once you find a tire that you like and it's cheap, you can afford it and stuff. Just stick to that one tire, and you'll become a better driver because you'll know the boundaries of your tires, what tire pressure to run it at, how much grip it has, and stuff like that.
No.
All right. But yeah, that's my tip. Just stick to your tire. Stick to one tire, and try to buy new if you can.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I feel like I get more life out of brand new tires than
You do, and the thing is, like,
You don't change
you're
tires.
paying for the track day. You're paying to be there. So the more time you spend off the track, changing tires, changing wheels, whatever, you're losing your value right
your
there.
seat time. Yeah. And we don't get a lot of up here, so
Yeah, if you go to like one drift event, the drift event is for like 8 hours long, but they'll split it up into groups, and you'll get maybe like 3 or 4 like 45-minute sessions. And out of those 45-minute sessions, you might drive only like 5 minutes total, like actual like track time. Would you agree? Like you're on the track for like 5 minutes per session.
per session. Yeah.
Like if it's a 45-minute session, you're waiting 10 minutes every time.
Yeah.
Just to get on the track.
Yeah.
You're probably on the track for like 2 minutes. You go around a couple times. You're on the track for like 2 minutes. You come out and you have to wait another 10 minutes to get back on track.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't get a lot of like actual seat time.
I haven't been to a drift event where there's like no waiting time. You always have to wait in line.
My turn.
Yeah, go ahead.
Another good advice when you're starting out is seat time. Don't waste your time building your car to have 500, 600 horsepower, whatever. Get yourself a rear-wheel drive car. Do the supporting mods that it needs to be reliable. And I'm not saying go street drifting, but go in the empty parking lot. Go figure the car out. See what it's capable of. And do as much as events as you can. Seat time is key right here to be a better or excel at drifting, because if you're wasting your time in the garage and you don't even know what you're doing while driving or drifting a car, then you're just wasting your time.
But can we talk about that real quick? Because I feel like everybody says like seat time is the biggest, like the best thing that you can work on, right? So like everybody says, just go out and get seat time.
Yeah.
But you can't really get that good if you're drifting a bone stock car.
Yes, you
Would
can.
you agree?
Yes, you can.
So like
just need
if you have like a LSD like stock struts or whatever, stock steering angle and stuff, like stock seat.
That's where I started out, and
But there comes to a point where
have to start
you get to like the best that you can get with that car.
work your way up. Don't skip certain stages. Don't go crazy. Don't get a PBM angle kit while your car's pushing 100 horsepower. You know what I'm saying?
My car pushes 100 horsepower.
Also, it's like to my point. Just
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
upgrade
say.
your car gradually. So
Yeah.
first learn the limits of your car, and then
Yeah.
after that start upgrading it slowly.
And if
Find the
if
limits,
you-
upgrade those.
even if you suck, don't get discouraged. If people are watching you, they're not laughing at you. Just learn on your own time, and you eventually catch on to it. A lot of people I know are scared to drift in front of big crowds because they get discouraged. And don't be that person. Just go out there, learn, and you're gonna suck 100%, but
Well, everyone starts there. So everyone.
Everybody
Yeah.
starts in the lowest group.
that was my biggest pet peeve, was
Yeah.
learning in front of people. That shit's,
It is. It's intimidating when you got to go out there and there's like, I don't know how many people, like 50 or 100 people watching you,
Yeah.
and you're like literally just starting out drifting, and you're gonna spin out or whatever, or go off course and stuff like that. It's pretty intimidating, but drifting is like all about fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So have the most fun that you can have. Like drifting with your friends is like the most fun that you ever have.
Oh yeah.
At first you want to drift by yourself, get used to it and stuff like that. Then go drive with as many friends as you can, and that's what really makes drifting. And that's why drifting is such a there's a big community in drifting, and it's very close because everybody likes driving together, and like when you drive together, you gotta help each other out and stuff. Who the fuck?
Edit that out.
All right, so those were the questions. We're gonna just break it down because I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna want to see what they actually drive, like the ins and outs, and like what are their favorite parts of the cars and stuff like that. So we'll start with Paul.
So this is my 2010 Honda Genesis Coupe. I don't have any engine mods. It's all pretty much stock. Just full bolt-ons, cold air intake, front mount. Nothing really power-wise. I got a PBM angle kit. You probably can see it from that side.
Yeah, from
I
the
just
other
got
side.
that at the end of last season. It makes a big difference.
Ooh-wee.
Hell
yeah.
I got PBM coilovers.
There's money.
PBM coilovers. I got a lower control arm.
And what are you doing for the winter time now to get
now
ready?
I'm doing my bushings with the subframe. I'm in the process of, so right now I just gotta paint my subframe and then install solid bushings and diff bushings too.
So like you said before too, you said, would you say like coils, nice wheel, steering wheel,
Yep.
some seats.
Yep.
Damn, got gloves. Woo.
I think that's my favorite thing about our cars is that we have a full interior. I tried doing the no interior thing in my 240 and I hated it. That was a big mistake. So in this car, I'm keeping my full interior. It's
Hell yeah.
one of my favorite things about it.
We'll go over to Dan, his 350Z. What'd you do to it? The top
So
stuff.
what I have done, pretty much what we talked about in the video. This is a base model, so why I say that is because base models never came in Brembos, but I put Brembos on this car. That's pretty much my favorite mod on this car, believe it or not, is the Brembos because I bought them in Hartford off a crackhead for $100.
Ooh,
So,
damn.
yeah, I can't pass off that offer, so I put them on there. I got the dual caliper set up in the rear for a hydro e-brake. Pretty much comes in handy when you're doing the road course at Thompson. Got the Bride rep seat in there. Got a welded in cage 4-point. Pretty much stock. Also, one more thing I like about the car. Let me pop the trunk.
Oh.
People pop the hood, I pop the trunk. Bam! What drift car you know got a system?
Booming at all
I
the
don't
events.
think anybody does.
There's quite a few drift cars. with
Come on, let
systems.
me have this moment. All right. And you know, welded diff, Exetti clutch, DC coilovers, body kit.
They all
and
got the 326.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say you guys forgot to talk about that.
That's our game.
They all have it.
All of our cars have 326 power replica wings. Because
Go ahead, Angel.
you can't take credit for that. We paid $300 for our wings. All right, so this is my 250Z, and it's kind of it needs a little bit of work, but we're gonna get there. Got our door mirrors, MB battle wheels. I have a bucket seat. I got a hydro in there, but that's only because my e-brake doesn't work. So like 350Zs, they're good drift cars, but the only downfall to them is that the e-brakes suck. So like you'll never get the stock e-brake to work good enough. So you basically have to go with the hydro e-brake, which is not a bad thing, but I don't know. I like keeping it stock and like
Straight up battle damage. But like they said, they keep it nice and reliable.
When me and Dan crashed, so this is gonna get fixed pretty soon. I'm gonna get the car painted 326 wing, just like the other cars. And that's pretty much it. It's just got a Nardi steering wheel,
Little cage in there too.
a little
cage
half.
action.
It's a 4-point roll bar, bolt-in, and that's pretty much. Oh, this is my favorite.
Sunroof,
This is my
yes.
favorite thing about the car.
Hell
So this is a S14 pop-up sunroof, and I made it fit the 350Z because I always like the way that the pop-up sunroofs look. I just think it's like so cool. On my car, so I just made it work. And
Also, you have no AC. It's good for those hot summer days.
I have AC. It just stopped working.
All right, guys, so that was the whole. I hope you guys like this kind of video. I know it might be kind of long, but it's definitely some good information, some tips and everything. Be sure to give these guys a follow, Drift Team Nerd on Instagram. You'll see them all around New England as well. Ask for a ride along. I'm pretty sure they'll give you a ride along. Oh, Dan actually, he always has his seat sometimes. It depends on his mood, I guess. But definitely check these guys out. Anything else you want to say?
We out here, boy.
Hell yeah. Be sure to give these guys a follow, like I said. Like, comment, subscribe.
Hey,
And-
like, comment, subscribe.
Are you recording right now?
Yeah, it's been recording.
Oh,
Time to be awkward.
Look at
quarters.
Hey.
Double
I
lock.
think I hit it.
Hey!
Invest in one of these.
He said invest in one.
He legit had that in his car. That's hilarious.